quickly will review. This is what we discussed in the last class. We had discussed about the supports of the uterus. In supports of uterus, we had discussed about the muscular support, the fibromuscular ligaments, and peritoneal ligaments, right? And in the muscular support, especially, we had spoken about the role of levator ani muscles, and in that we had seen that the three muscles collectively, the three set of muscles, pubococcygeus, iliococcygeus and ischiococcygeus, all three collectively form the levator ani. And we also saw that it is in the form of a concave structure, concave, slopy downwards towards the down part. It starts gradually tapering, and it is covered by a parietal layer of pelvic fascia, right? And what is in the inferior surface? Which fascia is there in the inferior surface?
Anal fascia.
Anal
Right.
fascia.
तो ऊपर से यहाँ पे जो है, यहाँ पर ऊपर जो है पेल्विक फेशिया है, और एकदम नीचे जब पहुंचेंगे एनल एरिया के वहाँ पे एनल फेशिया. देन वी हैड सीन अबाउट द after that we had seen about the perineal body, and in perineal body we had discussed about the structure of perineal body. 1.25 centimeter in front in front, and it is also called the central perineal tendon, right, to which several muscles of the perineum, as you see here, the several muscles of the perineum. You are able to see the slide, students?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
Okay. So all these muscles, you see, there's a common site of attachment here. So it's rightly called the central perineal tendon. Besides this, we had then seen the boundaries. What are the boundaries? We saw the boundary of the whole area of this part is symphysis pubis. Then you see ischiopubic ramus here. Ischial tuberosity is here. Then sacrotuberous ligament is here, right? Then you see the coccyx this side. Fine. So these all are forming the diamond-like structure. That is what we had learned. Now, besides this, there are some ligaments. Ligaments and supports में हमने पहले देखा pubocervical, जो cervical से pubic area की तरफ है, ये, right? And then we saw the यहाँ पर transverse cervical, जो सर्विक्स से वॉल्स की तरफ फैन आउट होता है. और तीसरा हमने ये देखा जो यूट्रोसेक्रल है ना, यूट्रो एंड टुवर्ड्स द सेक्रल, राइट. सो दिस इज अबाउट द बाउंड्रीज. नाउ दिस इज अगेन वन अप्लाइड एनाटॉमी वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. वी हैव सीन द आर्टीरियल सप्लाई, venous drainage and all we have seen. When we talk about the clinical correlation, one of the major issues that is faced if the supports of the uterus is not strong enough is the prolapse. Okay, what you are seeing here is prolapse. I still remember it was in 2004 or 5. 2005, I think. I still remember one of our students came running to me. The student was posted in gynecology ward, and the student said, ma'am, come fast. The lady is delivering. I said, how is it possible that the lady is delivering in a gynecology ward? Because that is for diseases, right? So see, this much of the uterus has come out that the student misinterpreted that it's a delivery that is going to happen. ठीक है, तो ये यूट्रस है जो प्रोलैप्स हो गया है. तो यूट्रस इज हेल्ड इन द पोजीशन वी हैव सीन बाय वेरियस सपोर्ट्स, right? If suppose due to any reasons, it could be a reason that is acquired, or it can be that the congenital reason. Here it is written, you can just change it, congenital it is, okay? Acquired reasons may sometimes it can be when a lot of pressure is applied when delivery is being conducted, तो फंडल प्रेशर की वजह से भी हो सकता है. दिस ऑल कैन लीड टू डाउनवर्ड डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ द यूट्रस. ठीक है, सो if lot of pressure is been applied here during delivery, there are some places where they still do this wrong practice of applying pressure on the fundus so that the baby will be delivered out. Okay, but if all that is done over a long period, what would happen? The mother will land up with this thing, uterine prolapse. Okay, it's a very common clinical condition that is being seen. Clear? So this is uterine prolapse is another thing that you should know. Besides that, there is some more clinical correlation given about cesarean section. सुनते होगे ना कि नॉर्मल डिलीवरी नहीं हुआ, बच्चा सिजेरियन सेक्शन से हुआ है. तो जस्ट फॉर अ ब्रीफ आइडिया अबाउट इट, देयर आर केसेस वेयर नॉर्मल लेबर इज लाइकली a danger for the mother and the baby also. So in that case, what would be done? In that case, they would actually make a incision here. ठीक है, यहाँ पर एक incision लेंगे या vertical incisions लेंगे. So what they would do, an incision made through the anterior abdominal wall and then the uterine wall. ठीक है, तो lower uterine segment, that is upper 1/3 of cervix, is taken by the uterus during pregnancy, which is called the lower uterine segment. So this is the area that you have to remember, just for a brief idea. That means the baby has not been delivered through vagina. What has been done? A incision is made in the anterior abdominal wall, and then once that is opened out, the uterine wall, all that is opened, and then the baby is delivered out. Okay, so that is about cesarean section. How the name came up is the Roman emperor Julius Caesar. It is believed that the Roman emperor was born in this way, by a cesarean section. So that could be the reason that the name cesarean section is being used. Okay. Another clinical correlation given here is intrauterine contraceptive devices. The short form used is IUCD, like copper T. Okay. So what is done in that? A T-like structure is introduced here. Okay. A structure is introduced here, T like copper T. It is loaded with copper, and T-like structure is introduced here. वो T का जो दोनों एंड है, जो टॉप पोर्शन है, वो यहाँ रहता है. ठीक है, and the straight part is here. Then there will be a thread-like structure left out for the female to palpate and see that the device is in place. And this is used, copper T is used as a birth control measure. Okay, next year in community health nursing and all, you will learn about different control measures. Like earlier also I mentioned to you that once the ovum is released, it is waiting here, the sperm can move from here and it can go and fertilize it, and then the fertilized egg will come and implant itself in the uterine cavity, right? So what you are doing by placing a copper T, you are blocking this place and this place, right? You're blocking the movement of sperm to go and fertilize the egg. Got it? So this is about the intrauterine contraceptive device. Now, next is fibroids. What is fibroid? Fibroids are large mass of smooth muscles arising from the myometrium. So let's see this also. See now this we have seen. है ना? तो हमने कल के डिस्कशन में भी देखा था कि मस्कुलर जो लेयर है उसे हम मायोमेट्रियम कहते हैं, अंदर का जो यहाँ का जो इनर है वो एंडोमेट्रियम है, राइट? वी हैड सीन दिस थिंग. सो व्हाट कैन हैपन इन दिस डायग्राम ओनली विल सी इफ देयर आर large masses formed on here on this smooth muscle fibers, then it is called fibroid, and preferably it is removed. Why? Because removal if not done at times it can turn malignant. Malignant का मतलब क्या है? कैंसरस हो सकता है. ठीक है? So that is the reason if there is any small fibroid growth and all, that is being removed. So that is about your clinical correlation related to fibroids. Now last one term also we will see, hysterectomy. हमने देखा था यूट्रस का जो टर्म है, जो प्रीफिक्स है, दैट इज हिस्टेरो विच मीन्स यूट्रस, है ना? तो सर्जिकल रिमूवल ऑफ यूट्रस हैज जो है वो किया जाता है, तो उसे हम कहते हैं, तो टर्म जो यूज की जाती है वो है हिस्टेरेक्टमी. नाउ स्टूडेंट्स, प्रेजेंटली वी आर नॉट गोइंग इनटू डिटेल्स, बट जस्ट बेसिक आप इस चीज को समझो कि अगर यहाँ पर केवल ये हुआ है तो हम कहते हैं कि हिस्टेरेक्टमी हुआ है. इफ दिस इज ऑल्सो देन वी से कि हिस्टेरेक्टमी प्लस बायलैटरल सैल्फिंगोओफरेक्टमी, दैट मीन्स ओवरी भी और फेलोपियन ट्यूब भी सब कुछ रिमूव हुआ है. ठीक है? सो दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन विच काइंड ऑफ ऑपरेशन हैज बीन डन फॉर द पेशेंट. तो ये सारे हमने अभी डिस्कस किए हैं. अब इसके बाद लेट्स सी, we can't miss on this portion also. We have discussed about cervix also, that it is the lowermost portion of the neck of the uterus. Now students, you all only tell me the part of the cervix that is above the vaginal vault is called part of the cervix. जहाँ तक पहुँच गए थे हम, इशिका मैसी. गुंजन ने आंसर किया था लास्ट टाइम.
Yes, ma'am.
इशिका मैसी. इशिका, जतिन आनंद, आदर्श इज देयर, क्लास रप है.
Yes, ma'am.
Others just look at the participant list and immediately tell me if they are not there. There's no point in me calling out their name and waiting. Na? Jatin is there.
Okay, ma'am.
Jatin. Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, हाँ, रेवन सर को कॉल करने के लिए बोला. अकाउंट्स में जो बैठे हैं सर. Yes.
Ma'am, next is Duli.
हाँ जी,
Ma'am, Jatin is not there. Next is Julie.
जूली।
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, तो जो सर्विक्स का पार्ट है ये यहाँ पर अबव द वजाइनल वॉल्ट इज कॉल्ड डैश वजाइनल पार्ट।
External loss.
एक्सटर्नल लॉस कहाँ से आगे बेटा?
No,
अबव,
ma'am. Body.
हाँ,
Body.
बॉडी तो इधर है। Part of the cervix, I am saying, part of the cervix that is above, part of the cervix that is above is called supravaginal, and what is in is called next कौन आंसर करेगा? कनिका। What is enclosed in the vaginal vault is called?
Ma'am, may I?
कौन है भाई?
Ma'am, others.
Adarsh, you are class rep. You are coordinating right now. Wait. कनिका नहीं है? आपको लिस्ट में देखना है कनिका है नहीं है?
Ma'am absent है आज.
हाँ,
Ma'am, Kanika absent है.
कनिका एब्सेंट है। अपूर्वा,
Ma'am, वो भी absent है.
वेरी नाइस। मधु,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, मधु.
हाँ, मधु बताओ इस पार्ट को क्या कहेंगे? सर्विक्स दैट इज इन दी vaginal area vault is called the vaginal part, supravaginal part. You all are not revising, students, please keep revising. Okay, the cervix is lined with mucus, so the cervical mucus is also present. This cervical mucus helps in lubrication. Okay, and also when there is a sexual intercourse, it allows the sperm to move. So mucus will help the sperm to get deposited and the sperm is able to move inside. Then during ovulation, secretion of cervical mucus increases in response to estrogen. Okay, but when an egg is ready for fertilization, what would happen? The mucus will become thin and slippery. तो इस टाइम पे थोड़ा थिक रहता है, सिक्रेशन उसका ज़्यादा रहता है, पर जैसे ही एग फर्टिलाइजेशन के लिए रेडी है तो जो म्यूकस है वो स्लिपरी और थिन हो जाता है, सो दैट द स्पर्म इज एबल टू मूव एंड फर्टिलाइज इट. ठीक है, दैट इज अबाउट द cervix. Nothing left? Okay. Cervix also acts as a passage through which the baby exits, right? This is the passage through which the baby exits, moves out of the uterus into the vagina. The cervical canal can expand up to 50 times its normal width, right? Otherwise it is just a small structure, but it can expand for the baby's head, shoulder, leg, everything to come out. Okay, so that is the extra point you can add about cervix. Then okay, now हमने क्या क्या फिनिश कर लिया है? यूट्रस बॉडी के बारे में काफ़ी डिटेल में हमने देख लिया है. ठीक है, अब ये जो पार्ट है हम देखते हैं fallopian tubes or also called uterine tubes. Okay, fallopian tubes also called uterine tubes. These tubes are long and tortuous tubes extending laterally from the cornua of the uterus. कॉर्नो ऑफ द यूट्रस यहाँ पर है, राइट? वहां से लैटरली एक्सटेंड कर रहा है, यहाँ आगे नहीं जा रहा है, पीछे नहीं जा रहा है, इट इज लैटरली एक्सटेंडिंग लाइक दिस, है ना. Each tube is 10 to 12 centimeter long. The length is full 10 to 12 centimeter. These tubes lie in the free upper border of the broad ligament. You remember ना, मेसोवेरियम इस साइड था, मेसोवेरियम के ऊपर का एरिया, तो फोल्डिंग के ये ब्रॉड लिगामेंट के जो ओपन ends हैं, that enclose the free upper border of the broad ligament encloses the tubes. The part of the broad ligament attached to the uterine tube, क्या कहा था, इन एरियाज को क्या कहते हैं, इन एरियाज को क्या कहते हैं, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ओके, मेजो सैल्फिंग्स, है ना. सैल्फिंग्स वर्ड का ही मतलब ट्यूब है, तो मेसोसैल्फिंग्स इज द वर्ड दैट इज यूज्ड. तो यूट्रस डिस्क्राइब करना थोड़ा डिटेल में टफ लगता है, पर दिस पार्ट गेट्स ओवर फास्ट. फेलोपियन ट्यूब about 8 to 13 या 10 to 12 centimeter. End of the fallopian tube lies next to the ovaries and feathers into this thing. See, ये जो है ऐसा नहीं है ड्रॉ करने के टाइम इसके ऊपर बना के रखना है, इट इज फेदरिंग इनटू नियर द ओवरी एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड द फिम्ब्रिए. ठीक है, दैट इज फिम्ब्रिए. फिर ओके, वी विल बी सीइंग ऑल दिस पार्ट्स इन डिटेल्स आल्सो. दिस स्ट्रक्चर को ही मैं ओपन रखती हूँ यहाँ पे. ठीक है. So each tube opens proximally into the cornu of the uterus and distally. इसमें proximal कौन सा एरिया है बच्चों? Tell me, I am keeping the arrow and you tell me. This is right, proximal end. Is this the proximal end? Okay, you are waiting for me to call out the name. I will call out the name. माही, मुर्तुजा, नेहा, तीनों में से जो भी प्रेजेंट है. माही, माही, मुर्तुजा, प्रॉक्सिमल का मतलब क्या होता है? जो मिड लाइन बॉडी के किसी भी स्ट्रक्चर को आप लोग मिड लाइन के जो पास है, तो इस स्ट्रक्चर में प्रॉक्सिमल कौन सा हुआ बच्चों? ये प्रॉक्सिमल हुआ कि ये प्रॉक्सिमल हुआ? दिस, राइट, दिस इज द,
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, दिस इज द प्रॉक्सिमल पार्ट. तो हम ये कह रहे हैं कि ट्यूब जो है प्रॉक्सिमली ये कॉर्नो में ओपन अप होता है एंड डिस्टली इनटू द पेरिटोनियल कैविटी. यहाँ पे पेरिटोनियल कैविटी में ओपन अप हो रहा है. ठीक है. Thus the uterine tube allows communication between the peritoneal cavity and the exterior of the body. Okay, now let us see what are the parts you need to know. Description purpose के लिए we can see uterine tube can be divided into 4 parts. Okay, if you can see the structures: infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus. We can use this diagram itself to describe the various parts of the fallopian tube. So when you are describing about the fallopian tube, the main important thing first you would describe is the way it is opening up, right? It is opening up into the cornu. So this is one part. This is the proximal part, and this is the distal part. That is one thing you can describe. Then next thing that can be described in it when you are describing about it is the fimbriae. These are the fimbriae that is there. Then you can see the infundibulum. This part is the infundibulum. Then you will see the ampulla, and this part we call it as the isthmus, the place where it is joining. Okay, this is called the isthmus. तो major जो आपको describe करना है, proximal end to cornu, distal end to the peritoneal cavity, then start again from here. यहाँ isthmus, और जो ऐसा जो structure आपको यहाँ पे दिख रहा है वो ampulla, and towards the end fimbriae, और यहाँ पर infundibulum. These are the major ones that you have to mark in this. Now let us see the infundibulum or L funnel. It is a funnel shaped lateral end, है ना. यहाँ पर आप जो ये funnel shape देख रहे हो, हम उसे infundibulum कहते हैं. ठीक है, funnel shaped and lateral end, or it is also called the distal end of the uterine tube, which is closely related to which part, students? Next person.
Ovary. Ovary.
Right, it is when we talk about it, then infundibulum है, fimbriae है, और उसके just next में you see this is ovary, है ना, related to the ovary. Then its opening into the peritoneal cavity is called the abdominal ostium. Its margin has 20 to 30 finger-like process. So you see here this finger-like processes. It's called the dash. What is it called?
Fimbriae.
Fimbriae.
Fimbriae. Right? So that is the fimbriae, and it is spread over the surface of the ovary. It is spread over the surface of the ovary. Now one of these fimbriae is large and is attached to the ovary. It is called the ovarian fimbriae. That's why you can see behind, say, it is completely shown as if it is just very near to the ovary, and that one is called the ovarian fimbria. During ovulation, the fimbriae, what does it do? You all have learned already in your biology also. What happens during ovulation? The oocyte is trapped in the fimbriae and is directed through the abdominal ostium into the ampulla. Okay, it is directed into the ampulla. Okay, so that is the route for the oocyte. Now that description about the fallopian tube is over. Now applied anatomy, if we see, applied anatomy is one of the major reasons for infertility is blockage of the uterine tubes. It could be because of some infection. The uterine tubes, that means these tubes are blocked, so the sperm will not be able to move and reach to the ampulla. So fertilization will not happen. So usually the oocyte is fertilized in the ampulla of the uterine tube. So what would happen? The dividing zygote passes slowly along the tube and reaches the uterine cavity. Now fertilization cannot occur when both the tubes are blocked. Okay, तो यहाँ भी infection की वजह से block हो गया, यहाँ भी block हो गया. Now you will be thinking block कैसे होता है? Infection के बाद में you also know that area there will be granulation tissues that are formed. So that itself will block the passage. ओके सो अब इसके बाद अब जैसे ये है कि इनफर्टिलिटी का एक कॉज है. आफ्टर दैट there will be patency of a uterine tube may be determined. That means when women is not getting pregnant, there are different tests that are done like hysterosalpingography. What is done in hysterosalpingography? In the applied anatomy you can see hysterosalpingo. So that means uterus and fallopian tube. Graphy means you are studying it. So a radio opaque material is injected into the uterus and then X-ray is taken. The cavity of the uterus and the lumina of the tubes can be visualized. So what would be done? Through the uterus, a radio opaque dye is injected and then the whole structure is studied. ठीक है, यहाँ सब कोई डिफेक्ट है क्या, यहाँ पे ब्लॉकेज है क्या, कोई स्ट्रैंगुलेशन है क्या, everything is studied. Then tubal insufflation test, let us see what is done in that. Tubal insufflation test, in that air is pushed into the uterus, passes through the tubes and leaks into the peritoneal cavity. This leakage produces a bubbling noise and this can be auscultated over the iliac fossa. Ideally, this test is done soon after menstruation, right? So otherwise what can happen? There is a possibility that you are blowing in air through this passage and you can land up dislodging a fertilized ovum. Okay, so tubal insufflation में what is done? From here air will be pushed, the air will travel. अगर कोई blockage नहीं है वो air पूरा travel करके यहाँ आएगा और पेरिटोनियल कैविटी में निकलेगा और यहाँ पे बबलिंग साउंड सुनाई देगा इलियक फोसा के ऊपर. दैट मीन्स ये पूरा पेटेंट है, पूरा ओपन है. ठीक है, नहीं है तो दैट मीन्स देयर इज अ ब्लॉकेज. नाउ नेक्स्ट एप्लीकेशन, लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज डन. ligation of the uterine tube. Okay, so one method we saw in the other one, uterus के वहाँ पे ऐसे copper T रख देते हैं. Now another thing is this area, uterine tube को ही क्या कर दिया है, ligate कर दिया है. ठीक है, so what is done is for birth control, the uterine tube is totally ligated. Okay, it can be abdominal tubal ligation as well as laparoscopic tubal ligation. Now you will be thinking, what is abdominal, what is laparoscopic? Students, one option is ऐसा पूरा कट करके जैसे सिजेरियन में कट करते हैं, एंड यूजुअली डिलीवरी के साथ साथ में ही प्लान करते हैं, तो ऐसा नहीं कि अलग सा. ठीक है, तो ऐसा कट लेकर they assess this place and they ligate it. That is one option. Another option is जो आजकल आप सुनते हो ना, केवल लैप्रोस्कोप करके दो होल कर दिया, इधर एक होल इधर एक होल. लैप्रोस्कोप से they enter the area and they ligate the uterine tube. ठीक है, so that is about the ligation of the uterine tube. Then salpingitis and peritonitis क्या है? Now we have seen that the female genital tract is in direct communication with the peritoneal cavity, right? So what can happen if there is infection in the vulva, the full vulva, if there is any infection in the vulval region, that can easily cross, it can easily cross and it can go here, right? वो इन्फेक्शन यहाँ से ट्रैवल करते 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 यहाँ सब स्प्रेड हो सकता है. तो पर्सन कैन डेवलप पेरिटोनाइटिस इफ द पर्सन इज नॉट अटेंडिंग टू एनी ऑफ द इन्फेक्शंस दैट आर प्रेजेंट. अब एक और चीज है एक्टोपिक ट्यूबल प्रेगनेंसी. ओके, ectopic tubal pregnancy में क्या होता है, what can happen? Now one thing we saw that there is complete infertility because of blockage, right? Another thing is there may be partial blockage, may cause partial obstruction of the lumen, right? In these cases, what will happen? Zygote may not be able to pass because of these obstructions. ठीक है? तो उसके वजह से क्या होगा? Zygote will not be able to pass. So what will happen? The blastocyst will implant itself in the mucosa of the uterine tube itself, and mostly it is found ampulla के वहाँ पे वो implant हो जाता है, ठीक है? But you also know that nourishment तो पूरा यहाँ पर है. This is the place where it is ideally supposed to come, right? So what can happen? It will grow here and rupture. ठीक है? और बहुत तकलीफ होती है, हेमरेज होता है, बहुत पेन होता है, यहाँ तक कि it is understood the embryo तो will not survive only, there can be threat to the mother's life also. Got it? So this is about your ectopic tubal pregnancy and the various clinical applications, clinical correlations, applied anatomy we have seen related to the fallopian tube. Anything to be added? Let's see. Length we have discussed. We have discussed about fimbriae. We have discussed hair-like or finger-like cilia in the fimbriae, right? Cilia beats in waves hundreds of times a second. This is how it is keeping on beating, and it will allow the egg, the oocyte, to move through the fimbriae into the infundibulum, and it will be able to move through the tube, right? तो उसके बाद fertilize होने के बाद it can go to the uterine cavity. Fertilization typically it occurs in the fallopian tube. It is the typical thing. ठीक है? तो ये डायग्राम में भी आप देख सकते हो. रिलीज ऑफ एग, तो यहाँ पे ये जो फिम्ब्रिया है, यू कैन थिंक ऑफ इट beating here. Beating means what? It is moving, right? It is moving, like you see algae and all moving in water, like that it is moving in the peritoneal cavity. और यहाँ पर देखो release of the egg from the ovary, right? Egg reaches the midpoint of the fallopian tube here, right? And here it is getting fertilized by the sperm, and here you can see the third thing, it will get implanted. Okay, implantation of fertilized egg into the endometrium of the fundus. So that is about the uterine tube. Now let us see about the next part, that is the vagina. The vagina is a fibromuscular canal. Okay, we are discussing now about this part, vaginal part. We know some part of it covers over the cervix also, vaginal vault कहा था हमने. तो ये जो है ये fibromuscular part है, extending from the vulva. That means vulva कहाँ पे पड़ा? यहाँ ना, यहाँ जो दिख रहा था उनको स्ट्रक्चर, वहाँ से लेके deep inside till the uterus. Okay, and the other term that is used for the vagina is also colpos. Colpos, Kolpos, colpos. So it's a muscular ridged sheath connecting the external genitals or vulva to the uterus. Okay, and it functions as a two-way street. How? Accepting the penis and also the sperm during the intercourse, and this is the reason the vagina is also called the female copulatory organ. Okay, it is also called the female copulatory, or the organ that helps in the sexual intercourse. So what is the function? It is also allowing the penetration of the penis and also deposition of the sperm during intercourse. Okay, now vagina lies between the urethra and the bladder. Okay, that is the relation in front and rectum and anal canal behind. ये हमने already जो initial uterus का देखा है उसके हिसाब से भी आप याद रख सकते हो. तो आगे urethra आता है, यूरेथ्रा एंड यूरिनरी ब्लैडर वेजाइना के आगे की तरफ आता है और उसके पीछे की तरफ जो है behind it will be rectum and anal canal. The vagina is directed upward and backward. ठीक है, so it makes a 45-degree angle with the uterus. So that is the normal thing if you remember when we spoke about the positions. Coming back to that, है ना. तो ये जो पोजीशन आप देख रहे हो यूट्रस के साथ में इसकी 45 डिग्री पोजीशन है ना, ये एंगल 90, ये 45 डिग्री पोजीशन बनाता है. एंड वी हैव अंडरस्टूड द सिग्निफिकेंस आल्सो दैट इट हेल्प्स इन सस्टेनेंस ऑफ pregnancy, right? Now let's see the measurements. The anterior wall is 8 centimeter. The anterior wall from here to here is 8 centimeter and behind it is 10 centimeter. Okay. Posterior wall is 10 centimeter. Diameter upper end of it is diameter is 5 centimeter, whereas gradually down you see it is 2.5 centimeter. Lumen का shape कैसा है? The lumen of vagina is circular upper end and H-shaped in the rest of the length. Okay. The reason is the anterior and posterior walls are normally in opposition. So some of the structures may you can see here also you can see it's more of a H-shaped structure that it is forming, as it is the anterior and the posterior walls are in opposition. Now this is about the shape of the lumen. What about relations? What are there? Anteriorly क्या है? Anteriorly urinary bladder है, right? वो हमने already देख लिया. Posteriorly क्या है? Posteriorly what is there? The rectum, है ना? It passes between the two levator ani muscles, and the sphincter urethra muscle and the pubovaginalis muscle support the vagina. So the two muscles that are supporting also you can remember pubovaginalis and the sphincter urethrae muscle are supporting the vagina. Okay. So vagina mein these are the points that you have to remember, that it is a fibromuscular canal extending from vulva, that is external genitalia, to the uterus, and we have seen it just doesn't cut off here, it is there above the cervix also, which we call it as the vaginal vault. ठीक है, और उस वेजाइनल वॉल्ट के स्ट्रक्चर वगैरह के वजह से ही ना टोटल जो लेंथ हम जब देखते हैं एंटीरियरली लेंथ अलग है, पोस्टीरियरली अलग है. एंटीरियरली 8 सेंटीमीटर है, पोस्टीरियरली 10 सेंटीमीटर है. डायमीटर देखो ऊपर जो है 5 है और नीचे आते आते 2.5 है. ल्यूमन का शेप अगर हम देखें वैसे lumen of vagina is circular at the upper end and H-shaped in the rest of the length. Okay. The reason is these anterior wall and the posterior wall, they are facing each other in that format that it forms a H structure. Okay. एंड रिलेशंस की बात करें तो सामने यूरिनरी ब्लैडर आएगा और पीछे की तरफ रेक्टम, राइट. देन वी मेंशन्ड अबाउट इट passes between the two levator ani muscles, then the sphincter urethra muscles and the pubovaginal muscles are the supports for the vagina. हाइमेन के बारे में हमने पहले डिस्कस किया था, that it is a thin annular fold of mucous membrane present just above the vaginal opening in vestibule. Okay, and in sexually active women, especially after childbirth, the hymen is torn and only some tags of the membrane are seen, which is called carunculae myrtiformis. But at the same time, we also discussed that this is not a foolproof method to say that the person is a virgin. ठीक है? Okay. फिर हमने clinical correlation में ये देखना है, there is a condition where the hymen may not perforate only. Okay, completely it may not perforate. So what is called imperforate hymen? That means there is no opening. In that, what would happen? The menstrual blood starts collecting in the vaginal canal. Okay, so which is also called hematocolpus, blood in the vaginal canal. In that case, what will have to be done? Surgically, the hymen will have to be perforated. As I mentioned to you, if the person is active, does physical activities and all, automatically it may get perforated. Okay, but there are conditions where it is not getting perforated, so that mucous membrane that is present here will have to be surgically removed out, and then only whatever blood that is collected here will be drained out. Otherwise uh, the girl, the pubertic girl, would be suffering from hematocolpus. Okay, so this is about the initial starting part of the vagina, this thing. Next class, I think we'll go into details about what are the fornix of vagina, the blood supply, and then we'll deal about ovaries. Okay, that will finish the description of it as an internal organ also. Internal organs क्या क्या हैं, that also will be completed. Okay.